this strategy, or if this is something that Vanguard simply needs to adjust to and start off on a better footing and approach the game in a different manner. The scoreline currently is 1 game towards Vanguard's, 1 round, however, towards Daka. If Daka kills Vanguard's one more time, the games will be tied up 1-1. And it will be up in the air and neck for who will face Silas in the finals. The parry. What the hell? Alright. We're getting prepped to go into our 4th round. (1-0) in rounds for Daka. He's behind in games, 1 set because Vanguards did win 2 rounds in a row prior, but that streak has now been broken. On the Blade Dancer, it all looked so bleak for Daka, but through the darkness, he found a way to come back against Vanguard's Summoner. Interested to see the adjustments Vanguards will make. This is a neck-and-neck match. One that is of strategy rather than execution per se. There's importance in execution in the fact that you really want to make sure you recognize when your opponents are using dandelions or blade barriers or backdashing or dashing or dodging away. But what really makes or breaks the fight is the cooldowns you trade and the positioning that you take on the map. So here we go, 4th round starts. Dandelion being utilized and immediately procced. The right button opener is not going to work out for Daka. Instead, he's going for the cat. Bolt step on the cat, trying to do some animation canceling damage, but Vanguard's just going to sit there and heal the cat and put the cat in defensive position, and Daka immediately swaps targets. Daka hasn't sustained any damage quite yet. The Dandelion gets broken by the Vortex. We've seen that so many times in this tournament. Vanguard tries to get away, but Daka grabs him up and puts him into a double knockdown, into a triple knockdown. Daka spinning away. He's waiting for cooldowns at this point. Gonna play a little bit defensively. He's staying pretty close. I think that's so he can re-engage. Tries to go for the stun on the cat, but the cat recall is gonna avoid that CC. So that's 1 cooldown for Daka down that he cannot utilize to put pressure on. And time is money in this match. Making sure you don't waste any of your cooldowns is very important. Gets the bolt step on the cat again. 10% health. And finally there's a defensive posture. Dandelion is up. And Daka very smartly doesn't hit into it. Defensive position on cat. And he's going to heal it again. 5-point strike is going to interrupt it one more time. Daka doesn't quite get the finisher. He uses the Vortex, but it doesn't actually catch anything. The cat CCs Daka instead and puts him into the grapple. Cat hammer is good. Going to avoid that grab combo. Daka is backing away again. He's just waiting for more cooldowns. Blade Barrier is going to give him some healing, and this time the charge stun is good. The cat is quite exposed. AoE knockdown. The reflex roll is good. Defensive position immediately for the cat. And again, Vanguard needs to be very, very careful that he doesn't lose the cat, and Daka is making good headway. He has a lot of health to work with right now. Here comes another bolt step. He might get it. No, the party Dandelion is good. Spirit grab on Vanguard's. Cat hammer, again gonna interrupt that, but a good Vortex. The cat's into the air, he could die. No, Vanguard's is healing it just a bit. He can sustain the health for just a little longer, but the 5-point strike again to interrupt it. Daka goes for the finisher on the cat. He uses a Blade Barrier, and he needs to prevent Vanguards from healing the cat any further. Waiting for cooldowns. There's a heal and another interruption. Daka is making sure that he's playing these mind games with Vanguards, pretending like he's backing away and coming back in the nick of time, preventing Vanguards from healing. Here comes the blade draw. He's dodging away. He gets a stun, animation canceling, and it's dead. It's dead. Daka does it again. 40% health. This situation looks incredibly similar to the last game. The fourth round, could it go to Daka again? And a good use of the vortex, backdash, and the reflex roll has been spent. Dandelion is not up for the moment. He tries to go for the summon, knows it's not going to work and cancels it, but gets grabbed up by Daka. Reflex roll coming up in just a bit, gets knocked down. There it gets spent. The stun is utilized. The escape is utilized. Daka has a lightning slash. This could be it. It could be over. What's he going to do after the 5-point strike combo? Daka maybe looking to take his second game, and there it is. He goes for the lightning draw. The big damage ends it, and Vanguards on his back for the second time, 2-2. The games are tied up 1-1. And Daka again, playing so well with the mind games. And this actually reminds me of how his match against Madoshi played out. In the opener, Madoshi did really well for the opening 2 matches. But then Daka made some adjustments, started playing some mind games, and it worked out so well for him. And like I said, the positioning is so important for this matchup. The idea that you see the Blade Dancer backing up and you think he's going to play passive now. He's going to wait for cooldowns. Vanguards fell right into that trap. Went for the healing, was not ready for Daka to come back in for the stun. And Daka was looking for that. The instant he saw that happen, he came back in, went for the stun, and got it every single time. Vanguards was trying to heal the cat, but ends up getting stuck in CC and put into air combos. Alright, well this has just got a lot more interesting. Neck and neck matches all the way for Daka, and this has to be tiring for the player. He's had to deal with Madoshi, a very high level Force Master, and now he has to deal with Vanguards. And as we can see, Vanguards is an incredibly high level summoner himself. Both times Daka has had to devise a new strategy in the middle of the match and play intense mind games with his opponents to come out on top, and he seems to be doing it again. But how much longer can he go for? In the semifinals, he's tied it up 1-1. Could this be the time that Daka goes for his repeat win in Imperial tournaments? Or will Vanguards clean up his execution and start playing the mind games on a level that Daka is playing right now? The ball is in Vanguard's court. He's the one that needs to make the change right now. This is really what separates the tournament winners from those that are just the high-ranked players. It's if you can make these adjustments on the fly, and it's time for Vanguards to step it up. All right. Daka Ringer coming back, 1-1 now in sets. Next player to kill the opponent twice will move on to the finals for a chance to win 1 year premium generously donated by Panda on EU from the Starlight Clan. Big thanks to him for supporting not only the North American Imperial Tournament, but he also prized the European Imperial Tournament. Big shoutouts to him. We really appreciate him supporting us, making this tournament just run a little bit cleaner. But let's see what happens in this next match. Round 5 between Vanguards and Daka. Daka gets rooted up. He's going for the 5-point strike, but the recall is going to stop any kind of big damage. Vanguards finds himself in a daze. He uses a party dandelion to put his cat in safety. This opener was not quite as strong as Daka's previous one. He goes ahead and uses a bolt step and catches the cat in some big damage. Takes down about, 60% of the cat's health in one go. But as we saw before, there's a lot of healing to be had. And Daka is down a good amount of health. He's at 50% now. This might all be due to the opening not going so well for Daka himself. The cat gets recalled, trying to avoid any kind of CC. With a grab and a good backdash, but he doesn't quite get the dodge frames. Ends up having to reflex roll. Cat in defensive position again. Blade Barrier is going to heal Daka up. Air combo for Daka. He's going to go for the AoE knockdown and gets the cat. Position swap, and there's a second bolt step, and the cat might be dead. He gets a second stun. It's gone. It's gone already. We're already at that point in the game, and Daka seems to just be getting faster and faster at killing the cat. More efficient, and Vanguards is looking completely helpless, completely defenseless, escaping utilized, but the dot damage from the soul blades is pushing him out of stealth. And if Daka catches him one more time, it's all over for Vanguards. Daka goes ahead and uses the Blade Bearer. Dandelion is not procced, and this is a very bad situation for the summoner. Into the air combo is lightning draw up. This could be the end. It is. He closes it out. It's just too convincing now. The snowball started as one tiny snowball. There was that one snowball that was the hope of Daka. And it started rolling down the hill and rolling and rolling and rolling. And now it is a big boulder. And there is nothing that Vanguards can seemingly do to stop Daka right now. Oh my goodness. That was just clean. His opener wasn't even to his advantage. And the cat in 2 lightning draws. The first one down 60%. The second one killed it. And Vanguards was ready for it too. Vanguards had the cat in defensive position, but the 5-point strike was good. Vanguards pulled his cat out to try to stop Daka from finishing off his combo. Instead, he got both himself and the cat put into the knockdown, and from then, Daka just utilized his lightning draw, bolt stepped the cat, and that was that. That was the end of the cat. So, 1-0 in rounds. If Daka kills Vanguards one more time, Vanguards will be knocked out of the tournament, and Daka moves on to the finals. A hard-fought victory, but it's not over yet. It is not over yet by any means. Vanguard still has the opportunity to change something up, and perhaps this is the time he's going to be looking for it. It's do or die now for Vanguards. He's had a good run in the tournament so far. This is exactly what I want to see. How would new blood face up against the old, recognized players? And it's proving to be a very entertaining and interesting match. Daka finishes off the last spectator, we should think about some things that Vanguards might be able to do. Does he have to take a more aggressive approach? He can't seem to get a lot of cat grapples on Daka, but I don't think that's very possible. Daka always seems to be ready to reflex roll out of hammers. He doesn't get caught by any extraneous CC. What is his answer? Perhaps he needs to time out his cooldowns against the blade draw a bit better. If he can make a read against Daka and utilize his Dandelion to absorb the blade draw, that might give him a significant advantage. If he can convince Daka to not use his Bolt Step, his right button stun on the blade draw, and Daka is forced to cancel his draw stance, that might be the biggest thing that Vanguards can do to prevent damage coming out from Daka. Only 15 seconds until we begin the match that might tell the whole story of how both these players ran their tournaments for the first Imperial North American tournament after the release of the game. And here we go. Both players starting out. Daka choosing to back away. Ket is already in defensive posture. He tries to go for the stun. I think that was the Dandelion, the party Dandelion, but Daka somehow catches the summoner, the cat anyways. The heal is going to prevent a lot of damage. Cat Hammer is good. Gets the grapple, and that's exactly what I was talking about. The reflex rolls were very on point for Daka that time, or before, but that particular time, Daka actually got grappled and was forced to use his Blade Call. This opener is much stronger for Vanguards in a sense. Health levels are fairly strong for both the cat and the summoner right now. Daka finding himself in a position where he's just spinning away. Throws the summoner back. Maybe trying to isolate the summoner from his cat. Gets the stun on the cat, and here comes more blade draw damage. Gets the bolt step. The cat is taking so much damage. 50% down and having to heal up from the summoner. 5-point strike is going to send Vanguards into the air. Cat is out of defensive posture, and the left button finisher is utilized. Vortex on the reflex roll. Vanguard's immunes that. And Daka is going to be disappointed about having that cooldown wasted. Dandelion, not procced. Daka down to about 50% health. He needs to start thinking about sustaining a little bit more. The cat, maybe one combo away from death. Blade Bearer utilized. More healing on the cat. Another lightning draw. How far can this one go? Oh my god, it's so close, but the healing is so strong for the summoner. Reflex roll? No, just the backdash. The summoner still has all his defensive options. 5-point is going to catch both the cat and the summoner. Daka goes for damage on the cat. 20% health. Uses the vortex, catches both the summoner and the cat. Daka down to about 20% health. This is looking to be a very dangerous situation. The healing was incredibly strong from Vanguards this time around. Daka can't make the kill on the cat work. He gets a stun. There's no escape option on the summoner. Who's he gonna kill? He's going for the cat. This seems to be very chaotic. And if he had made a confident decision, maybe he could have killed either the summoner or the cat. There was no escape on Vanguards, and the cat is so low. But Daka knows he needs to play patiently. Daka himself is very low. Comes in from the edge of the screen. The cat doing as much damage as he can. Just a sliver of health left for the Blade Dancer. And oh my god, the Sunflower does so much damage. And Vanguards climbs back. 3 losses in a row and finally finds a win. It is now 1-1. It could not get any closer than this. And oh my god, this is a draining match to watch. This match is draining. Both players are playing so carefully, playing so safely. 1-1. The healing on the cat is just so strong. It's hard to outpace it. And Vanguards was looking for that heal. I think Daka had the chance. He had Vanguards caught without the escape in the stun loop. Perhaps if the cat CC'd, he could have broken up that combo. But still, this next match could go anywhere. Vanguard seems to have found success in using early heals on his cat and making sure it's always topped off and has extra health. And oh no. Elimination for either player. Still though, even whoever wins this match, they still have to move on to fight Silas in the finals. Meanwhile, Silas has just been sitting there, just waiting. He hasn't had to exert so much stamina and exert so much effort trying to defeat somebody of a player of this caliber. You guys. Alright, the last match between Vanguards and Daka. Whoever wins this one moves on to the finals. And, I mean, we couldn't see the match that Vanguards had against AA Laguna. But if it was anything like the matches Daka has had to go through, both these players have worked incredibly hard. Alright, it's been a long journey in the semifinals. Coming down to the wire, the final match that we could have possibly played. 1-1. Watching the conversation between these two players has been intriguing and exciting to say the least. But everything that happened before doesn't matter now. It's all out the window. If you make a mistake here, none of that really mattered. Vanguards versus Daka. Will the opener go Daka's way? In the previous two matches, he didn't really get a comfortable opener. But let's see if that's the case this time around. He gets the stun. Goes for the air combo. He's gonna do a good amount of damage to the summoner. The cat comes and uses defensive position, and there's the bolt step. Gonna catch him out of the escape and gets the second stun. This is a lot of damage on Vanguards. Down 60% health and gets the grab and backdashes away. Where's the cat CC? Double CC on both the cat and the summoner. Oh my god! Vanguards is so low. He rolls away, he backdashes away from the 5-point strike. But how much health will he heal up from now? Vanguards is finding himself in such an unhealthy position, but that is a big chunk of health that he just got back. Daka needs to find a way in. Grabs Vanguards up. Drops Vanguards down, gets the knockdown, chases down the reflex roll. Escape is still an option. He uses a Blade Bearer. Cat CC is not going to work. And he uses a Blade Draw. He still has a Bolt Step. No! The Dandelion. Vanguard's very smartly timing his Dandelion, and that just saved them the match. That Dandelion, if it had not worked, Vanguards would be gone by now. He would have been disintegrated. But very well played from Vanguards. Defends himself in the necessary way. And again, the Dandelion pops, but the 5-point strike is good. Cat Hammer, not going to be working. Slow get up gets punished. A stun into a second air combo. Maybe going for the AoE knockdown. No, he goes for the damage finisher. Daka, Blade Barrier up again. His Blade Draw is coming up soon. Escape is available for Vanguards. But this time, Daka needs to make sure he doesn't hit into the Dandelion. There's the escape. He uses the Vortex. That was so smart. He went to circumvent the Dandelion entirely. The knockdown, the reflex roll. There's nothing to chase. Vanguards is healing up just a little bit. There's just a little bit to go for Daka. Can he do it? He has no cooldowns right now. The cat grapple, Blade Call, is going to escape the situation. Vanguards gets grabbed up. What's going to happen post knockdown? There's no escape available. Reflex roll gets chased down by the 5-point. It could be over. The cat hammer is no good. It's over. The cat hammer was no good. The timing was not on point. And Daka takes it. The change in strategy, the mind games, and it all was worth it for Daka. Everything was worth it for him at that point in time. And the strategy was so solid. He changed up his gameplay and finally went back to killing the summoner. And in the last round of the last game, to decide who would get eliminated, Daka pulls through, and that ends the story of Vanguards in this tournament. And oh my god, I cannot imagine the pressure that Vanguards put on, and the things that Daka had to do, and the creative strategies that Daka had to utilize to close out the match. Absolutely insane. That was absolutely insane. And the finals is indeed all ace, as Pathing OP would say. You people who had predicted Silas and Daka to be in the finals, well, are you happy with yourself? You're correct, but I would be surprised if you could imagine that it would happen in this way. Oh my goodness. So I think we're gonna play the third, fourth place match now. So we have to find the fourth place loser, which I think this is going to be a Summoner Mirror matchup between Frolic and Vanguards. I need to get confirmation from Avarist. And in the interest of time, because there were a lot of delays in the tournament and instability with the servers and whatnot, in the interest of time, the format of the third, fourth place match is going to be adjusted to, instead of best of 3 spars, we're going to have to do only first to 3 kills. So we're just going to count by kills this time around, and it's going to be a best of 5. So the first person to get 3 kills on his opponent will take third place. And this is just for the third, fourth place match. The finals will still be a best of 5, and that's going to be Daka versus Silas. But there we have it. And the reason we need to do the third, fourth place match is, remember that we're doing the ranking system now. So your positioning in the tournament affects your ranks. I hope you guys have been having fun with this tournament. We've had some exciting matches today. We've come a long way. There were a lot of quarterfinal matches. We started with a 32-man bracket, and we're finally down to the last few. Okay, so he's just gonna get DQ'd. Okay. Well, there you guys have it. Vanguards will be awarded the win because Frolic has disappeared. So he will be awarded the DQ. Awarded, I say. Awarded. And we will move on to the finals match. So, best of 5 between Daka Ringer and Silas. And I'm going to go ahead and invite Silas. So, if you guys could spam in the region chat, and we can get you invited into the lobby. And we'll get going with the final match of the day. And I'm very interested to see. I mean, I think it's our vision of the of how the matches go are a little biased towards Daka Ringer because we've had to see him play these grueling matches all the time. And Silas played extremely well too, but his wins, I mean, there were some close ones, but they've been relatively... I mean, they've been relatively one-sided. 4-0'd one opponent, and I think he 4-0'd both opponents to make it to the finals. And when we get ready, Silas will ready up, and it'll be a Blade Dancer mirror again. And we saw one Blade Dancer mirror. Silas played against Kaiser before, but this time it's going to be Daka Ringer, and you guys can see just how different that might be when two different players are involved. Silas, as we saw, would play the more passive game. He's going to play towards strategy and safety, whereas Daka Ringer, I think he does take risks. He analyzes the situation carefully and decides what he needs to do to end up winning the match. And executes. So far, he's been doing really well against Madoshi. He made the comeback against Vanguards. He made a similar comeback. All of that was because he adjusted his strategy and changed the way that he played the game. All right. I think we're ready to go into the next match. I'm interested to see if these two players play against each other a lot. They are from the same guild. I never asked Daka what the record between him and Silas were, but you have to imagine that they share a lot of information, both playing the Blade Dancer class, sorry. Best of 5. I'd be interested to know which individual the chat thinks would win. Because perhaps somebody in the chat would know better than me. But Silas versus Daka Ringer, who is actually, his in-game name is R, A-R. To remind Avarice to make sure he registers for next. Make sure Avarice knows to register for next there, so we don't accidentally kill an innocent human. All right. So you guys have to know that in the finals, best of 5 is a longer format. Daka versus Silas. Silas was a strategical, methodical player. At least within the matchups that he was playing between the Summoner fight and the Blade Dancer Mirror. And Daka. I think Daka is a little more flexible than that. I've seen more of Daka play, so I have a better understanding of how he plays the game. Silas is still an unknown to me. The scoreline is now set to all zeros. And we'll start at 7:30 on the clock. The mirror match is interesting. I wonder if they're going to choose different specs, either the parrying strikes or the vortex. What they have in their pockets. Doc will move forward a little early. I see you. Alright, 7:30 and both characters are going to start off. Backdash to open, Blade Bearer traded, both using the RB. Similar openers. This is what I was talking about. They must trade information being from the same guild. Vortex catches the reflex roll. Silas on the back foot, put into the air combo. He still has his tab escape. Daka goes for the 5-point for the double air combo, so he's going to utilize both those cooldowns at this point. And the lightning draw too. This is what I was talking about. The bolt step actually gets countered, so Daka mistiming that. Uses the lightning draw and doesn't bait out the tab. And this could end up biting Daka in the butt. Silas now on the counterattack. He does have more aggressive options available, but he's going to back away and use this Blade Barrier. Lightning draw on Silas. Daka has it on cooldown. Tries to go for the Vortex, but Silas avoids it. The grab, actually, I think he involved the grab away. Uses the unconscious. Daka's going to earn a free air combo off of that. Silas down to 50%. There is the bolt step to catch the reflex roll, and Silas immediately uses his tab escape. Blade draw stance still available for Daka. Now he spins it away. 5-point is going to send Silas into the air, and this constant pressure from Daka is really chewing away at Silas's health. 10% left. Slow get up is not punished. The Blade Bearer is going to heal Silas up a bit, but at this point, after this Blade Bearer drops, Silas is in a lot of trouble. He's going to need to dodge a lot. He goes for the Vortex and gets it. He mistimes his charge stun, and that's going to be really bad. That's a big cooldown wasted, and the tech chase. And Daka puts Silas into the air. Gets Silas down to about 5% health, and a good backdash. Avoids the blade call. Similarly for Silas, but the tab escape is traded, and oh no! This could have been a big mistake from Daka, but Silas couldn't complete the combo. At least he didn't get parry stunned. Again, a very precarious situation. Silas needs to cut out for his Blade Bearer, and there it is, finally. Daka trades it. And similarly, a 5-point, and Silas didn't dodge at the tail end of it. Daka scopes him out, and a strong, consistent neutral game won Daka that match. Goes up 1-0. It was very close. If he had a follow-up stun off that bolt step, this match could have gone a very different direction. The trading of the tabs could have been the end of the match for Daka in a sense. But fortunately enough, Silas just didn't have enough resources at that time. And that is really the benefit that I was talking about earlier. Daka likes to utilize his lightning draw even when you have your tab up, because the idea of creating pressure is always there. You're pushing your opponent, trying to convince them to utilize his tab. A lot of Blade Dancers like to save it for the guaranteed one-shot kill. But Daka concedes that. He says, okay, you know what? That situation is not going to come up that often in a game against skilled players. So he's okay. He takes the compromise. He says, I'm going to utilize it, and I know you're going to tab escape it in the end. But I'm going to get some chipping damage on you, and in total, because my neutral game and my knockdown game is stronger, I'm going to get a good amount of damage. And through that method, Daka Ringer pushed down Silas's health level low enough that he ends up taking the win pretty comfortably. So 1-0 in rounds. Daka Ringer is looking very comfortable. Daka killing off Avarice now, and we'll be going into the second round of the finals. 1-0, and it was a pretty convincing win for Daka, I think. Silas had the opportunity to come back because of the trade with the tab escapes, and ended up not going Daka's way, but he just didn't quite have the cooldowns to close the match out. So now we wait until out of combat. I think this time Daka killed the people faster, so we have a bit longer of a wait. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Imperial BNS tournament, the first one for North America. After the game releases. We've had some really good matches so far, and if you go ahead and check the European one, there were some excellent matches there too. I highly recommend you guys go through the VODs and the past broadcasts and take a look at that. There are some very, very skilled players over in the European region. The finalists were Bev of Forcemaster fame and Ringshu, representing on Destroyer. Both the semifinals and the finals of the European tournament were incredibly exciting. But these finals are shaping up to be the same way, and in fact, the quarterfinals and the semifinals of the North American were the same way. So 7:30, both players are starting in the second round. The right button doesn't get the stun, the left button doesn't get the stun. Both players fail their opener. Blade Bearers are traded. Lots of dodging and lots of nothing. Both players just spinning around, doing their best reenactment of the Beyblade anime. In the end, Daka gets the opener with this charge stun. 5-point strike on the reflex roll. Tab escape is going to cause it. Oh my god, and the traded tab escape. Both players are in very big danger. Oh, and a good side dodge, but gets caught into the 5-point strike. Lightning draw is coming for sure after this. He needs to watch out for the ground counter. No, the slow get up. He doesn't go for the lightning draw. It could be a lost opportunity. More dodging. Daka, despite taking some damage for the air combo, isn't too hurt. Tab escapes are coming up soon again. 4 seconds for Silas, and here comes the draw combo. Bold step, tab escape is available, and there it gets spent. Reflex roll into the air combo. Silas lost a huge chunk of health for it. Daka still holding on to his own tab escape, gets a counter, and this has been hurting Silas a lot. The counter on your draw stance is really, really bad, and Daka's gonna put him into an air combo. And this could not go any worse for Silas right now. Counter, and it actually gets the parry stun. He has an opportunity, but he doesn't have a lot of damage in the pocket. Goes for the 5-point strike, and the counter into the spin is going to prevent Daka from being sent into the air again. And the blade barrier is traded. Backdash into the vortex. Reflex roll gets caught by the charge stun. Tab escape used immediately. Tab escape traded and gets grabbed up. Blade call to counter that maneuver from Daka Ringer. And Silas trying to put together some offense, but misses the grab, and that could be the nail in the coffin. Daka Ringer continuing to do the dance of the Beyblades. Both players just spinning, but the knockdown is here. There's no tab escape. No. Oh my god, he got parry stun. Oh god, I thought he threw, but he didn't. They're both dead. They're both actually dead. They kill each other at the same time. We actually had a draw? What do we do? What?
Can't really do anything with that.
What?
Oh man.
What?
No, it's insane.
Never have I ever. There are a lot of never have I evers today. But this is something I have not seen before. How did he even die? Was it the dot from the grab dot? What even killed Daka Ringer? Silas was in the air combo. Daka was at no health left pretty much. And I mean, calculating HP, I suppose we could do it that way, but both players died at the same time.
Because it counts all three of the players, not just one player.
Now, Daka Ringer is the one who killed us, so we could maybe add the totals of the health of both you and me. 137484. 37484. 4052. 137484 144052. I mean, we could do that. How? I don't really know how we want to proceed.
So who fell first?
It's hard to say. It looked like Silas died first, but I really can't tell because I wasn't watching Daka Ringer because I thought he had won because I didn't know there was any other source of damage. But
Silas just said he already got the game, so we're gonna give him that. It's still insane.
wait, Daka died to the bleed?
Daka died to the blue card, so after it's
Okay, I just calculated the damage calculation and the difference between damage at okay, well, whatever. Let's not go through that. It's too ambiguous. It's too ambiguous. All right. So Avarice, your decision is that the win goes to Daka Ringer as a tournament organizer. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh my God.
No, wait. Everybody's requesting it. Should we give him a rematch?
It's up to you, man. Braum suggested that we just give both players a win, which is the way like Street Fighter does it in the case that there's a draw.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
You give both players a win. So, but the thing is that would mean that it would end up not helping Silas at all because Daka was one game up already, right? So he would just get a round, or rather he would get a game and then it would be reset. Which is still the way that Street Fighter would do it if we we're going to use that system, but I mean, the game is not Street Fighter, so
We're just gonna do it.
okay. All right. What the heck? I mean, I don't know if there's a clear good answer either way we take it.
So we're just gonna
Okay. Is the stream dying? The stream's dying for me. Do you have any drop frames? Okay. So, sent the spy request. That joke is yeah. Now we will get underway with the next match here. If Impy could let Daka Ringer know exactly what's going on. All right, so the scoreline is still 1-0 in Daka's favor. The draw was incredibly ambiguous. So we're just going to replay the match. Both players died at the same time, and I can't actually believe that that's something that would ever happen. But you saw it here first, and what started the whole thing was actually an executional mistake by Daka. He let Silas back into the game, and this is exactly the reason why a statement saying that health values are not a good indication for the value of the game applies. Because if you get put into a full combo and you don't have your escapes up and your opponent has a lot of cooldowns available, that's exactly what could happen.